In a competitive world, average won't cut it. The Success Launch Point shows you how to stand out, deliver massive value, and rise above the crowd. With on-demand courses, expert coaching, and a community focused on growth, you'll accelerate your career and your paycheck. It's time to level up. Check out modernobserver.com/launchpoint.
The government shutdown causes flight delays. More evidence of Biden corruption surfaces. Gold hits a record high, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Flight delays continue Tuesday across major U.S. airports, including Boston, Nashville, and Houston, as the Federal Aviation Administration grappled with staffing shortages caused by the government shutdown. At Hollywood Burbank Airport, the control tower went unmanned for nearly 6 hours on Monday evening, forcing flights to be rerouted through a regional facility and prompting several cancellations. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned that increased sick calls may soon force the FAA to slow traffic further. Senate Republicans confirmed a staggering tranche of President Donald Trump's nominees on Tuesday as the government shutdown continues. Lawmakers voted along party lines to confirm the batch of 107 of Trump's nominees, a move that whittled down the remaining pending nominees on the Senate's calendar to double digits. It also came as the upper chamber was deadlocked in the midst of its government shutdown, during which floor votes have largely been dedicated to trying to reopen the government. Former FBI Director James Comey will be arraigned in federal court Wednesday morning after being indicted on charges of alleged false statements and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Comey has said he is innocent. The former FBI director is set to have his first court appearance at 10 a.m. in the Albert V. Bryant United States Courthouse in the Eastern District of Virginia. Newly declassified documents revealed that in 2015, then Vice President Joe Biden told the CIA he would strongly prefer an intelligence report documenting Ukrainian officials' concerns with his family's ties to corrupt business deals in the country not be disseminated. And so it wasn't, according to a newly declassified email and records made public by the agency. CIA Director John Ratcliffe declassified the heavily redacted records, which he said he believes is an example of politicalization of intelligence. A senior CIA official stated that the intelligence was discovered along with an email showing that Biden expressed a preference to not share the report. Newly released campaign finance records reveal that New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani's campaign gave over $28,000 last month to the New York City Democratic Socialists of America, a radical group that has boasted about the level of influence it will have if Mamdani is elected mayor. The Mamdani campaign made a payment of $28,677.57 to DSA's New York City chapter on September 15th and filed in the purpose field that the funds were for other explanation texting. Mamdani's campaign has previously given numerous smaller payments totaling roughly $3,000 to DSA for fundraising emails. But the September donation represents by far the largest contribution to the group since his campaign was launched. New York City's DSA has received 36 payments, totaling over $33,000 from Mamdani's campaign since early 2025. Meanwhile, New York City police officers are planning to retire in large numbers if Zohran Mamdani wins the mayoral election, according to emails and interviews with the Free Press. Mamdani previously pushed to defund the police. The NYPD is the largest police department in the United States with 33,740 uniformed officers, but it's facing a manpower crisis that has grown even worse in recent months, says Bill Bratton, who is police commissioner for Mayors Rudy Giuliani, a Republican, and progressive Democrat Bill de Blasio. That is the fewest number of officers in the department since 1994. Renewable energy surpassed coal as the world's primary source of electricity in the first half of 2025, according to new data from the energy think tank Ember. Solar power led the charge, covering 83% of the increase in electricity demand. Ember described the moment as a crucial turning point whereby clean power can keep pace with rapidly growing energy needs, particularly as the world faces the huge increase in power necessary to fuel the AI boom. However, the think tank warned that there are significant regional differences behind the numbers. New data from the International Energy Agency revised renewable energy growth in the U.S. by 2030 down by half. It also suggested that the pace of renewable adoption in China, the current largest renewables growth market globally, could temper, according to the Financial Times. The World Trade Organization announced Tuesday that the amount of goods traded globally this year is projected to surpass its previous expectations. While the WTO initially expected a 0.2% decline in trade goods in April, Tuesday's announcement raised their prediction to a 2.4% growth this year, a boom largely attributed to rising AI-related purchases. Gold prices rose to $4,000 per troy ounce for the first time in history. The rush to gold likely signals increasing doubts about the stability of the U.S. economy as investors scramble for alternatives to the dollar. A new private space cargo vehicle called ARC was unveiled last week by California-based company Inversion, which designed it to revolutionize global logistics for the U.S. military and its allies. The company plans to deploy the reusable vehicles into low Earth orbit, where they'll act as orbital storehouses holding critical supplies, particularly for the military. When a delivery is needed, the vehicle could immediately leave orbit and deliver cargo to any location on the planet in less than an hour, far faster than traditional air transport. The company plans to create a network of thousands of ARC vehicles, with the first orbital mission currently scheduled for 2026. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.